Hello, everybody. I feel like I should be starting a sermon after this, especially after starting stream an hour late. There was a lot going on. I feel like I've heard this before. It sounds really familiar, and I thought I hadn't heard it before until now, but it sounds very familiar. Point is, it's good. I like it. Also, hi, Alex. How are you today? I'm doing well. It's been busy. I didn't get home until like 7:20, and I normally I try to start stream at 7:30. So, it's been a busy day. But otherwise I'm doing fine. Oh, the dogs aren't there. Just had a lot going on in the last couple weeks. What on earth? Yeah, I think I will. I should be able to take some time off. I say time off. I should be able to take some time to like do just regular chill stuff and not going anywhere and not doing anything this weekend. But I've got to do chores this weekend. There's some like major chores that I need to get done this weekend that I should have done like weeks ago. But it's gonna get done. It's gonna get done eventually. It'll get done when it needs to get done. Oh shoot, hang on. Before another song comes on. Stop it! There we go. That is not my gameplay. Because I was playing 7 last time. There we go. Where's the sound? Where's the sound? There we go. We have sound. We have visuals. I have a Firefox browser in front of my face. Okay. Finally. Okay. We're doing 7.3. I have not done 7.3 yet. I was planning on doing it Wednesday, and then I ended up having to babysit my goddaughter. Not having to. I was asked to, and I wanted to. Um, so I babysat my goddaughter last night instead of streaming. And now I'm here. Actually. Also, before I even leave this place, this is my house. I say this is my house. This is my FC's house. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. And I love the little wisteria tree that we got. And these little glowy things. The glowy flowers. And I probably should step inside. I don't think I've been inside the house in a minute. And I don't know if my other friends are, like, if my other FC members are playing currently. Actually, summoning bell. Please tell me you sold some shit. Yes! Okay. You sold something. That counts. But yeah, the house is really adorable. My favorite spot is in this little secret doorway that goes downstairs into a little cafe. One of my friends had a friend that like did the interior design for us, And it's just cute. It's very, very cute. I like the greenery. I like the little cafe stuff. I love the books and the hidden doors. It's real cute. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, now I'm gonna teleport back to old Charlian. I'm probably not gonna have time to do alliance raids tonight just because I still have to work tomorrow. So I'm just gonna focus on MSQ and get that done. And this time I should have a high enough eye level to get everything done instead of getting stuck like I typically do. I don't even know where I need to be for this first quest. Where do I need to be? That's so helpful. Ah, solution 9. Okay. I didn't know if I needed to start in solution 9 or if I needed to start in Tuliolao. Had no clue. Teleport? Fine. Where do I need to be? It's the... Ah, okay. Backrooms. Which is next to Neonstein. Okay. What do you have to say about all this? I finally got my hands on a Neo-regulator, and then came this close to crashing into a hover cargo. The day I become an endless can't come soon enough. I only hope that I live that long. I don't remember if they were there last time. After 7.2. The whole gang's here, except... Y'shtola's not. Y'shtola's not here. Actually, nobody's here. Except for Wuklamat and Sveen and Galuja and Cryo. Everybody else is gone. I couldn't fight them, and I couldn't even get my authority back when it was stolen. So what good am I? I need to find a way to be more useful. Baby, you're just a baby. Raha and Alphino patrol the city while Y'shtola and Alice continue treating Levin sickness and those injured in the attack. I shall stay here to help coordinate efforts, so I suggest taking the opportunity to get some rest. I think this was from 7-2. I will dedicate myself first to healing magic so I may help treat people's wounds. It'll be a time-consuming process to reacquire my abilities, but a necessary one that I dare not rush, even though there's no telling when Calyx will make his next move. Kazan is helping us coordinate efforts with the administration here in Alexandria. We have to work hand in hand to ensure that the people can get their normal lives back. I worry about Galuja, though. I know he's still frustrated that he couldn't do anything to stop the machines. If only there was a way to take his mind off things. He's just a baby. He's doing his best. If you have a moment, Daenerys, Geode wants to take stock of the current crisis. Oblivion may be lacking in the finer details in certain areas, so we would like you to lend your perspective to the conversation. I mean, I got electrocuted. Start there. Though I think that was probably earlier on. Sorry to drag you into our meeting, but we need to get a better handle on the threats Alexandria is facing right now. Not at all. Much has happened since the state funeral, and a clearer idea of where things stand would be beneficial for us all, or for us as well. First things first, then. Let's discuss the state of the machine malfunctions. Every single sector reported instances of sentries attacking citizens without provocation, and vehicles suddenly becoming unresponsive to controls. And while these malfunctions were resolved fairly quickly, they nevertheless resulted in a considerable number of injuries and deaths. But you haven't heard anything about new incidents since then, right? Right. No additional reports have been logged as far as I know. That's the good news. The bad news is, I tried to take control of the soldiers when they started hurting people, but they wouldn't listen to me, even though I have the king's authority. Once things calmed down, I was finally able to make them give up their weapons, but if it happens again, I don't know if they'll ignore me like before. The King of Resolve's authority is about the highest there is. Who is this man that can override it with such impunity? Calyx. He lived in the age of the storm surge as I did. Lest you forget, he was known for his advancements in electrope technology, and it was he who established preservation for the purpose of furthering his research. The wasting disease which afflicted him, however, was said to leave him scant years left to live. He must have chosen to undergo conversion into an endless, that he might continue his efforts into the present day. Solid. Preservation's early goals seemed noble enough, exploring treatments for love and sickness, designing Everkeep's core system, that sort of thing. Why harm the people he was ostensibly trying to help? I do not pretend to fully understand Calyx's motivations, only that he appeared incensed by what he saw as mankind's failings. He asserted that the strategy of adapting our species through generational succession was outdated, that evolution now requires us to forsake bodies of flesh in favor of eternal preservation. We've already seen how he's employed the simulant to convince Alexandrians that endless conversion is their only hope for survival. Eternal life is assured for the 5,000 who registered their neo-regulators. But this is merely one part of Calyx's greater plan. He wants the key to interdimensional fusion. With that relic in his possession, he will draw ether from the reflections and expand his efforts to create endless 1,000-fold. If we mean to foil Calyx's schemes, then our only option is to determine where he's hiding and put him down. Which, unfortunately, is easier said than done. I've been scouring the terminal we found in the depths of Everkeep, but I failed to uncover even the slightest trace of his activities. Give me a little more time, though, and I'm sure I can sniff him out. I'll help you. While Galuja and Shale are working on that, I think I'm going to take a look around. Around town? I can't remember what that said. I missed that. I want to make sure no new problems have cropped up, as well as search for any information that might lead us to Calyx. You're welcome to come along. Another malfunction could happen at any time, and I'm glad to have some brawlers at my back. You can count on me. Count me in. Raha and the others are helping Oblivion patrol the other levels of the keep, so shall we stick to the streets of Solution 9? Sounds like a plan. Thanks, you two. I appreciate the company. I have to speak with the city's administrators about bringing the Landsguard. I want our soldiers around to protect those who are moving to Tuliolao. Alphino and Alice will be joining me for the meeting, so the three of us can cover that sector as soon as we're done. If I may, I'd like to join Zedaris' group, if you'll have me? Sure. What's the worst that could happen? The more mouths to ask questions, the more mouths to ask questions, the merrier. As long as you're aware of the dangers. Thank you. I'll do my best not to be a burden. I'm more worried about you, Geode. Don't do anything stupid. You'll change your tune once we get back with the goods on Calyx. Then the drinks are on you. Come on, let's continue this outside. Where's my boy? Where's my boy Elrenville? Haven't seen him in a minute. You were over there. Just being stared at. Sorry, I was off in my own little world. Shall we get started? Are you alright, Geode? Zanaris is so pretty! Me? I'm well enough, given the circumstances. It was the Queen's fondest wish that her subjects remain shielded from the horrors of death, and so they were for the longest time. Then the moment mortality once again becomes an unavoidable fact of life, they're greeted with an outbreak of bloody violence. Many are bound to give the endless alternative serious consideration. Indeed, and I do not blame them for that. It is only natural that such thoughts should come to mind. What I cannot forgive is the way Calyx wields fear and misery to manipulate people into making that choice. No one, not Calyx, nor anyone else, should dictate how we cope with the specter of death. As one who lived as an Alexandrian, I wish to put the choices for this country's future back in the hands of its citizens. And you think we can handle that responsibility, after everything you've seen of us? It is what I've seen that has convinced me that you can. I awoke 4 centuries later to find our people living and laughing beneath Alexandria's banner. Though surprised and bewildered, I was overjoyed to see it so. You all deserve to be happy. Well then. We'd best not let you down. Now, I suggest we move as a group. We don't know if or when a battle might find us. Well, I believe someone came prepared for just such an eventuality. Are you talking about me, Krile? Oh, not me. Is that the grimoire you retrieved from the old castle? Yes, my parents gifted it to me when I was a child. They were adamant that I should learn to protect the things important to me. I was fortunate enough to have a tutor in the arcane arts, so I lay claim to some small measure of skill. If that's the case, it might be better if we split into 2 groups, after all. It would certainly be more efficient for information gathering. I guess that makes sense. The 2 of you can take the west side of the recreation zone, then. Zanaris and I will take the east. Very well. We shall end our patrol in the plaza just past True View and await you there. Alright, Geode. Let's go, buddy. Let's do the rounds then. We'll see what's what and chat to people we meet along the way. Pay special attention to anyone who looks overwhelmed or overly excited. Hopefully that will earn us a tidbit or two if we didn't know before. Okie dokie. Where's my map? There it is. Okay. Are the sentries and air-wheelers safe to be around now? I just know it's going to happen again. And maybe next time I'll be the one who dies in a horrible accident. I need a neo-regulator. Becoming endless is the only way. Even Queen Sphene said so. Ah, the memories. I used to drink around here all the time. I made sure not to overdo it when I had work the next day, but once we were past the busy season, or when the ladies weren't amenable to my company, well, you'd have to scrape me off the street outside in the morning, or afternoon. The worst I ever got was on what should have been the worst day of my life. If only I could remember it. I was still wearing a regulator back then. It was also the day I first met Shale, although I guarantee she's forgotten it completely. You sure about that? You want to hear my story? While I appreciate you offering a sympathetic ear, there's not much to tell. If you must know, a good friend of mine died when those machines went crazy. His air-wheeler dropped right out of the sky and he didn't survive the crash. Damn fool wasn't wearing a regulator. I know that's not so strange these days, but he never bothered with one. He was at peace with the idea of dying someday, and I thought I understood what that meant until it happened. That's sad. Alright, Geo, time to run. What has me in such a fine mood, you ask? Well, I've just registered my new regulator. I was leery of becoming nothing but memories at first, but now that I've gone through with the registration, I've never felt more at ease. Also, once it was done, the regulator displayed the current numbers. One of 5,000 slots of the 5,000 slots available, over 3,800 have already been filled. So if you're still hesitant, you've not much time to make your mind up. Mark my words, friend. When there's only a few slots left, it's going to get very ugly. Zenaris, a word? I feel like there was a new factor in these stories we've heard. One we hadn't considered during our discussion with everyone in the back room. People are still deathly afraid that fights are like to break out over neo-regulators. That a victim of the violence wasn't wearing a regulator. I think that fights are likely to break out. The fact that nearly 4,000 people have registered is worthy of its own report. But are you sure there wasn't something else? That a victim of the violence wasn't wearing a regulator? All of these are worth note. Yes, that's it. The vast majority of residents have always worn regulators, so it's not a detail we'd normally think about. With the supply of souls cut off, though, more and more people have been going without them. We need to look into the casualties from the recent attacks and check whether or not they were equipped with regulators. Let's ask around on the street over to the east. It was pretty chaotic at the time, but maybe we'll find eyewitnesses who can help us confirm if this was a pattern or not. East is this way. We gotta go this way. Over here, Geode. It was once my job to deliver goods by hover cargo. That's why I know a fair number of names and faces throughout the city. The little ones who jumped for joy when I brought them packages, the old lady who'd always greet me with a smile, I'd hate for anything bad to happen to them. Fair. Hello, how are you today? Please let me know if I may be of service. Citywide casualty data unavailable. Government officials are currently processing reports from all affected zones. Can you narrow it down to the recreation zone then? You must have some estimates on hand. Recalibrating parameters. Injured, 87 individuals. Casualties, 19 individuals. Casualties equipped with regulators, 0. You wish to know if the people who died in the machine rampage were wearing regulators. I'm sorry, but I was assigned to clearing away debris. I didn't see any of the deceased. No bodies were present by the time I arrived, so I assumed the ushers had already done their work. I do remember there being patches of white dust scattered about that were quite a chore to clean up, but nothing else is worthy of mention. What? Zeneris, I think it's time we rejoined Kryl and Sphene. I was half joking with my boast to Shale, but we may have stumbled upon something major here. We should share our findings and keep pursuing this avenue of inquiry. Didn't Kryl say to meet them at the plaza just outside of True View? Let's get going. I already stopped there. Yeah, I did already stop there. Hey guys, we've got some stuff. We've got some info. Oh dear God, I just popped my neck. Felt terrible. So essentially, you're saying that the people who were killed by malfunctioning machines weren't wearing regulators. Uh-huh. Well, the numbers are still tentative and only apply to that one zone. We don't know how they'll stack up against the overall data, but this is definitely more than a coincidence. I think it's safe to say that anyone who had removed their regulator was a priority target. Now that you mention it, the person I was treating for injuries wasn't wearing one either. But why? Why are they being targeted over everyone else? Based solely on the lack of a neo-regulator, we cannot judge if a person has no desire to become endless, or if they simply failed to acquire one at one of the limited devices. But those who wear no regulator at all, they've clearly rejected the old system of using souls to revive themselves. Put another way, they have chosen to live their lives in the knowledge that death is an inevitability. The chances that such resolute people would wish to become endless are far lower, I would imagine. And so Calyx has chosen those least likely to accept his vision as victims to stoke fear and panic. But there was no need to kill anyone. With the way things were, people were already fearful enough. He could have found 5,000 willing citizens without all this madness. You make a good point. Perhaps this sowing of terror is in service to another scheme, or he had some other need for the lives he's taken. What if the dust found at various sites? Because that's weird. Right, the sanitation worker story. She saw no bodies, but mentioned piles of white dust. Dust, no bodies. Now, where have I heard that before? Do you recall when we went to save Aramville from the sentries in the outskirts? That Usher Malachite told us much the same thing. Very vaguely. When I arrived, I found no body, only a pile of dust which the wind quickly scattered. Confused, I questioned the residents, but none knew what had become of it. That both stories speak of missing remains is suspicious enough, but the shared mention of this dust is too much to ignore. In that case, we should confirm if this substance was present at other sites, and attempt to ascertain its nature. Following this thread may lead us not only to an explanation for the missing bodies, but also the intent behind Calix's murderous actions. Oh no. I always get worried now. Yep. Daenerys, we need your help. I've lost control over the soldiers in the residential area. They might be trying to hurt people again. Oblivion members are on their way now, but are you close enough to join them? I'm coming, baby boy. Damn it. Our new investigation will have to wait. Let's go. I hate when my link pearl rings now. Can't stand it. Oh god. Oh shit. What is happening? I'm sorry, is that shale on the floor? Oh, you're having problems, aren't you? Yep. Oh! No, no. Don't turn your head backwards like that.
Stay back! Stay away from me! Leave him alone!
Are you all right?
What happened here?
A sentry walked into my apartment, even though I'd locked the door and everything. I managed to run, but the man who tried to save me.
Okay, that looked like Shale's coat and I was worried.
No weapons, which is to be expected, considering all the sentries were meant to be disarmed. Yet it was ordered to attack all the same, even if that meant using its bare hands.
I'll leave matters here to you. I'm going to do a sweep of the surrounding area.
Maybe don't go alone. Maybe don't go alone. Maybe don't go alone.
Do you know anyone else in this sector who no longer wears a regulator?
I don't think I've seen Isadora and her boy with theirs recently.
Oh no. Oh no.
Go to them, quickly!
Oh no.
I'll be fine. But Isadora's in bad shape. Mother, please.
Just let me switch to White Mage, please.
Isadora.
Just let me switch to White Mage, please. I should have switched to white mage. I should have just been white mage.
Oh, thank goodness. She wasn't struck anywhere vital.
I'm sorry. If only I'd gotten here sooner.
Everything will be all right. I promise to make your mother better.
Thank you, miss. Will she sleep like that forever?
Oh, Milos.
No, not forever. She'll wake soon, I'm sure of it.
That's good to hear. Thank you for saving her.
Here we go. Forgive me, I was reckless. You should never had to waste time tending to my wounds as well. Did you see our other comrade back there? He stayed behind in the lobby, but I heard the sounds of fighting. I'm sorry. He must have fallen protecting the residents. I do not need more food, but I do have some tacos de carne asada. Our comrade, do you think he may have been struck down? If he's wounded or worse, I should go to him. Wait, please. It isn't safe for you and you need rest. And you still need rest. Would you stay with Milos and watch over Isadora for me? We will tend to your friend. Thank you. Please be careful yourself. Oh, hello. Y'all are just here. Just chilling. Alright, Crow, what you got? Isadora's going to be alright then. I'm so glad. I've just finished my ministrations here. Our Oblivion comrade was beyond saving, I'm afraid. Satch. That brave soul. He gave his life to save another. He died protecting me. I don't understand why any of this is happening. That sentry was behaving normally, like any other. Then, all of a sudden, it tried to kill me. Weapons or no, Calyx commanded them to commit murder. Where's Geode? Is it over? We came as soon as Wayakwe sent word. I'm sorry. By the time we arrived, it was already too late. Then Geode could be in trouble too. Once we have this radius locked down, we need to find him. But why? Has something happened? Possibly. We're not sure what, but he stopped responding to our communications. We need to prioritize securing the residential sector, though at least until we... Or, wait. We need to prioritize securing the residential sector, though, at least until we regain control over the sentries. Then we should... Oh my god. Reading is hard. Then we should search for Geode. I agree. Since most Oblivion members have sworn off regulators, if our theory holds true, then they could be prime targets for the next attack. Please, do what you can to shepherd the residents to safety, but avoid sentries at all costs. Our thanks. Here, take these communicators. You guys only call when something bad is happening, though. I don't need another Link Pearl situation. We made modifications to them to prevent Calyx from intercepting the signal, and have been using them to coordinate movements with allies in the vicinity. Wayakwe has one too, so I'll ask her to keep hailing Geode. Good luck, and stay safe. Geode said he would sweep the surrounding area, so we shouldn't have ventured too far. Let's get going. The question is, where? Please, Geode. Please be safe. You don't split the party. You see no sign of Geode. Perhaps you should search further to the east. That's not east. You see no sign of Geode. Wayakwe's voice crackles forth from the communicator. Geode! Geode, answer me! There's no response. Perhaps you should continue your search further to the east. Should I? I see a lot of people over there, and that worries me. I don't like seeing lots of people in one spot. Oh, Lord. You see no sign of Geode. The neighboring residential radius would be the next logical place to look. Oh, he's still alive for now. For now.
This is the only place left. Let them be safe.
Geode, are you there? Answer me, please!
I'm here. Sorry for the long silence. I've been busy.
Oh, you're alive! Thank the gods! Where are you now?
The radius next door. The lobby is secure. I'll scout the second floor. Then I'll join it.
Oh, what? Oh, what?
That dust.
Dust? What are you talking about? What's happening?
Please stop
They're
talking.
not just collecting souls. They're draining the bodies of corporeal ether. The dust that we saw was all that was left of the victims. They must have modified the soul cells.
Well, shit. Oh, no.
Shit.
Oh no. Damn. What a throw. That old man is not paying attention at all. No spatial awareness.
You can't be here. You need to run now.
Oh, what? Oh no.
A trap.
Oh no.
Take care of the others, eh?
Ugh. Oh no. Am I just gonna find dust on the ground?
No sign of him so far. This way, maybe?
Am I just gonna find dust on the ground?
Geode!
Oh no. Oh no.
A shame. I had hoped to leave here with at least one more cell's worth of ether. But seeing how eager you are to interfere, I shall cut this foray short.
Calyx.
Yep.
What could you possibly stand to gain from these atrocities?
Ether sufficient to generate 5,000 endless. How would you acquire it?
How would I?
Until I have the key, the reflections are closed to me. Thus do I make do with the sources at hand. 7% of Alexandria's current population will yield the energy to convert 5,000 into endless. With 11%, operations could continue unabated for 800 years. Our bodies are fated to decay sooner or later. These ones refuse the gift of eternal life, so what difference does it make if I return them to ether now? I will not waste time and resources on meaningless conflict. This unit cannot offer you worthwhile resistance. Instead, I pose a question. Would you hand over the key if I promised to halt my harvest?
No. You'd only seek other victims that way.
It was foolish of me to even ask. I return to my work then. There is much to do if I must take the key by force.
fight him. Oh, Geode. Jeez. I can't. There are no words. This pile of dust. These ashes. And the soul cell he left behind. Was that his twisted way of returning Geode to us? Damn you, Calyx. Damn you and your careless cruelty. He was our friend. Even so, some might say every death was justified if it meant 5,000 Endless could continue their immortal lives. And if a reflection stolen ether allowed for many more Endless, why that would too be a noble sacrifice for the greater good. Who could think that? Not I. Certainly not I. We know only too well. There is not noble in this sacrifice. We have to stop him. We have to find Calyx and put an end to this madness as soon as possible. And under no circumstances can we let the key fall into his possessions in Eris. It falls to us. We will thwart his plans here in Alexandria before he can terrorize innocents in reflections elsewhere. Oh, rip Geode. We should return to the back room. Shale and the others need to know what happened. Yes, I'll ask Wayakwe to meet us there as well. Oh, I'm the one that has to break the news? Oh, there's Arenville.
Our dear Geode. The soldiers. If only I'd been able to control them.
This isn't your fault, Gololja. The blame lies with Calyx, and with him alone. It's all so senseless. Why force his plans upon us when we're already happy? Living our lives. What does he even think life is? I'll never forgive Calyx for doing this. Or myself for being powerless to stop him.
Please don't leave alone.
To clear my head. Don't worry, I won't do anything stupid.
Stay inside the building.
Stay here and get some rest. I'll make sure Nostalgia stays out of trouble.
Thank you.
Things would have been far worse if you and Geode hadn't rushed in there. Many people are still alive because of you. And after adding what you discovered to the leads we've dug up, I'm hopeful we can determine where Calyx is hiding.
Oh, hey, Raha.
But not right now.
Oh, Shale.
We need time before we can move on. Just a little time.
Oh, Geode.
Oh, hi, Stella. Fancy meeting you here. Another comrade gone. Some days it's almost more than I can bear. Geode was... He was an older brother to Nostalgia and me. Shale knew him longer, though, and is surely taking it the hardest. And that's on top of what happened with Kakua. Do you think you could check in on her? See how she's doing? She's like to put on a brave face if it's me or my sister. Apologies, my mind was elsewhere. We need to press on with the hunt for Calyx, but I can't seem to focus. I should be better than this, I know. As you said, you need time to work through it. You're right. I ought to heed my own words. As it stands, I'm of no use to anyone. Kakua used to say the best thing to do with grief was to let it all out. So I think I'll take myself over to Earth and Sky and say my goodbyes to Geode. Why don't you come along? I could use someone to blubber to if you've a shoulder to spare. Alright. Right then, let's get out of Everkeep for a bit. Are we about to ride some of the air-wheelers? Yeah. It's a fair trek on foot, so I've arranged a couple of air-wheelers. They've had their communication modules removed, so even Calyx shouldn't be able to seize control of them. Say the word and we'll set off. Ready? We'll be flying close to the pylons, so follow my lead. Let's do it. I want one of these so bad. These air-wheelers are Janolt's babies. You won't find a smoother ride in all of Everkeep. Jesus, can't talk. For years now, I've been taking one out for a turn whenever I need to lighten my mood. Sometimes Geode would come along too, and we'd end up racing. Does that surprise you? Our friendship always had a competitive edge. I thought we were going to Earth and Sky. I thought that was this way. Guess not. We would often talk about how one day we might fly our wheelers outside the dome. I love the music here. It's so pretty. Almost there. Be sure the ground is clear before you touch down. Back where it all started. That's helped clear my head a touch. You know, Zanaris, you might be the first person I've ridden with who wasn't an Oblivion recruit. You mean I'm not a part of Oblivion? As far as I remember, at least. The memories from my regulator days aren't exactly reliable. Come on, let's head inside. Hopefully the way will be clear of pests today. Oh, apparently it's not clear of pests today. Finally. Oh, hello. Easy peasy. Thanks. We can usually avoid such encounters, but sometimes they wander in and block the only path. Not that it's slowed you down at all. I've never seen you fight up close before, and the surveillance feed clearly didn't do it justice. Hopefully that keeps the route clear for a while, shall we? Oh, a little flower. Oh, and 3 cups of whatever this is. 3 cups of drink.
Whenever we lost a comrade, the 3 of us would come back here to reminisce. Me, Geode, and Kafkiwa. Will you raise a glass?
To Geode's memory.
Oh! What are the 2 of you doing here?
I had a feeling you'd show up. Would you like to join us?
I suppose I could spare a moment. They tell us Oblivion's founders disappeared some decades ago under mysterious circumstances. And it was Kafkiwa who revived our organization. You and Geode helped her with that, didn't you? Tell us more about it. We're keen to know too, right? What they were like back then. The mad things they got up to. That sort of thing.
Oh, memories.
Those were the days. It was actually right before the Reformation that I met Geode. I still wore a regulator then. I'd recently lost someone close to me. And also quit a long stint as an adapter to work at a bar of all places. It paid me to sit with patrons and keep them company. So Geode came in one night. It wasn't long before we got into an argument. First time customer, but tempers flared. And then one of us threw a punch.
You got into a fist fight? What were you even arguing about?
Damned if I know. We were deep in our cups. I think we were both just frustrated and angry at everything. By the end of it, we were both sprawled out in the street. Pair of drunken fools. Then this odd machine stopped to lecture us, scolding us for obstructing the foot traffic and not taking better care of ourselves.
Aww.
I can't imagine you ever being in such a sorry state. The odd machine, that was Kafkiwa, I take it?
That it was. Once she was done upbraiding us for our unseemly behavior, she launched into a recruitment pitch. Kafkiwa explained that she wanted to protect the outside world from Zoralja's invasion, to keep him from bringing ruin to the place her beloved son lived. And if we were so intent on self-destruction, then perhaps we might consider risking our hides for a just cause.
Sounds like
It was
Kafkiwa.
a lot to take in. I hadn't given much thought to what lay beyond the barrier, and learning that Kafkiwa herself was already dead was enough to make my head spin. But Geode and I were intrigued by her ideas and wanted to see this future of hers come to pass.
Geode often spoke of it. He told me that meeting Kafkiwa was what first taught him the value of remembering people.
Like he was sharing a holy revelation.
Oh, but back then you hadn't yet taken on Oblivion's name, had you?
Is that so? I just assumed.
It hadn't been Kafkiwa's intention to carry on Oblivion's legacy, nor adopt the cause your parents championed. Not initially, at least. She wasn't even aware such an organized resistance existed. She did, however, suspect the presence of other dissidents, those who objected to resurrecting the memories of the dead in defiance of the natural order. In the hopes of identifying like-minded comrades, we began searching the core system for traces of unauthorized access. And that's how we found it. An anomalous sector in the back of the Neon Stein. According to Melancholy, the door to that mystery had remained firmly shut since she took over the business.
The back room.
The back room. We forced our way in, only to discover that the hideout had long been abandoned. Although the occupants were gone, the equipment they'd left behind contained records of a group calling itself Oblivion. After reading through their exploits and their vision for the future, we made the decision to carry on their work.
Well, she's the only original member left now. Not
Thus
the only
were
original
my
member,
parents and
but
Kafkiwa's hopes bound together.
she's the
And
only one
carried
of the
on
new
by Shale and Geode.
Oblivion left.
We could never have made it this far on our own, of course. Not without the strength of arms you and your friends provided. Losing comrades is a hard thing, but being here, thinking back on the moments we shared, I can see their smiles, hear their laughter. I feel their presence, and I know they're still with us. But these memories of mine are for me alone. Reminders of why I chose to do this, and why I'll stay the course. Right. Time we got back to work. Thank you, everyone.
It's me who should be thanking you. Though the pain is still deep, I don't feel like I'm drowning in it anymore. Let's get out there and put a stop to Calyx. For you, for me, and for everyone who's ever believed in Oblivion.
Crowell, you're so small. You're so small. Oh, small Cryle. I appreciate you helping me through this. And not only the grief, you've helped me see that my comrades mean even more to me than I realized, which only fuels my determination. I'll be spending every waking moment working to bring Calyx to account for his crimes. I'll do my part, then you do yours. Oblivion needs you. Quick arm materia, I guess? I don't use materia right now. I need to. This time I went back to locating Calyx's lair. I have a new strategy in mind, but it remains to be seen if it will aid in narrowing down the possibilities. I'll ask Cryle for help. I want to re-examine the data, starting with that of her parents. After all, they were the first to break away from preservation and establish an organized resistance with Oblivion. There must be something in there that can point us in the right direction. What are your plans, Daenerys? Respond to that. Daenerys, is that you? Apologies for calling suddenly. I've been making the rounds in the outskirts, and I cannot help but feel as though something is amiss. Might I ask you to join me? Your perspective would be most appreciated. It can wait until you're finished attending to Shale, of course. It seems your plans have been decided for you. Go on. I've others to speak with before I return to the back room. Please be careful. Oh, I can't use the mount. Oh, where'd you come from? You just showed up. Now I can fly. Where did I come from? Probably over here, I think. Yep. Look at all that 11. Don't like that the music is different out here. What'd you find, Sphene? Daenerys, thank you for coming. As I mentioned, I would benefit from your worldly experience. I cannot read today. It is going great. Perhaps it is my imagination, but the townspeople appear to be acting oddly. That is, even considering the current state of affairs. As I am yet unfamiliar with the outskirts, I thought you might be better equipped to judge if their behavior is unusual or not. Would you speak with them and see what you think? Though I hope to be proven wrong, I fear something is not right here. Creepy music is never a good sign. Oh no, why are you trembling? You good, buddy? Oh, please, tell me you brought more neo-regulators. Officially, they've all been handed out already, but I've heard rumors there are a few left over. Surely the government still has some. Or perhaps Queen Sphene? I may not look it, but I was a hunter once. Back then I hardly gave death the second thought. But now that I know the truth, it's all I can think about. There has to be a way to hold on. There has to. I feel like you're not quite as... what's the word? You don't seem out of sorts. I mean, you're out of sorts, but you don't seem to be acting strangely. Greetings. I remember when you visited with Queen's Fiend. Come to check on our well-being, have you? Well, I can say that things are rather stressful out here as well. Without knowing if or when our machinery might turn murderous, the specter of death is ever present. People are terrified, and the clamor for neo-regulators have reached a fever pitch. I personally was fortunate to have claimed a new device early on, and have long since completed the registration. Death has no hold over me now. Now I must begin my prayers. The darkness oh my god, the darkness draws closer, grows deeper, and we must cast it out. That last sentence was weird. Note to self, buy tarps. Lots of tarps. Didn't like that last sentence you said there, buddy. You gonna say something weird too? Ew, you're not wearing a regulator. Don't you know the end is coming? Well, it's your life to lose. Me? I got myself one of those neo-regulators and registered a little while ago. As soon as I did, a display appeared showing the number of registered users. Right now it's sitting at 4,168. The upper limit was 5,000, wasn't it? Seems the total shot up right after those machine malfunctions. It's only a matter of time before everyone's registered. I pity those who weren't chosen, but I'm going to be an endless. I'm going to evolve and live happily ever after. Okay. So, what do you think? Was I right to worry? Yeah. Yes, that's exactly it. The people are overwhelmed by uncertainty and fear, and with each new registration, that fear inside them grows more insistent. How long until it drives them into full-blown panic? Is it right now? Because my link shell is ringing? Yep. Daenerys, can you come to resolution? We have a problem. I'm already here with Lamatia and Alphino. Yep, it's always something. It sounds like she wants us there in a hurry. We should go. My link shell is never for a good thing. Oh.
What's happened? Sorry to drag you out here, but I thought it best you see for yourself.
Death is your constant companion.
Okay.
Though you toil with diligence, death may come ere your reward is bestowed. Though your grand works be poised for completion, death may come ere you wake the following morn. Though you enjoy a life of peace and good fortune, death needs but one instant to claim you. Your bodies are weak. Your heart, your brain, every fragile organ rolls the dice from moment to moment. Sheer chance deciding if they function or fail.
Become an endless today.
Stoic or generous or righteous, no virtues tip the scales in that fatal reckoning. The choice is made without reason. The end is cloaked in terror. That is what it means to die.
The announcement began after we finished our meeting with Gossen. As for its source, well...
Calyx. Use a Calyx.
There is no shame in being afraid. It is that very fear which will drive you to
Let us set a new course for mankind. Let us preserve our existence unto perpetuity. Hope for it, wish for it, pray for it. We will become endless. With evolution's brilliance, will we banish the ever-present darkness of mortality.
Change isn't easy. No one ever wants to take the first step. But this is the right path for us. What other way could there be? I'm gonna do it. I'm going to register.
Val Wuklemat! You couldn't have come at a better time. Please, you have to let us move to Tuliolal.
It's too dangerous to stay here. Who knows when the next century will turn on us? Even if we wanted to become endless, there are no more neo-regulators to be had. Fleeing is our only option.
If the solution was as simple as leaving, then we'd all have left already. Did you not hear the announcement? For the living, death is a foregone conclusion. No matter where we go, or who we shelter with, we won't get another chance like this to overcome our fate.
Easy for you to say when you have that regulator.
The Landsguard are on their way as we speak, and arrangements have been made to see that you all will be safely evacuated. Tulishola will aid you in whatever way we can. So please, remain calm.
He doesn't look like he's remaining
help
calm.
Alexandria. I want to save its people. But what can I do? I am not their queen.
That's a tough one. Calyx has access to the core system, which means if he chose to do so, he would deploy the soldiers beyond the barrier. Even if our people learn to live with death and decide to leave the dome behind, they will not be beyond its reach, or his reach. Yet if it serves to allay their fears even a little, I beg you, Wukmamat, please let them shelter in Tuliolal. We will welcome any and all who want to come. We've already begun evacuations and we'll be able to pick up the pace once the Landsguard will arrive. In which case, we had best spread out and keep an eye on the crowds. The mood is tense and we must prepare for possible violence. If you happen to determine where Calyx is hiding, though, we'll be ready to move at a moment's notice. Surely we'll find a clue of some kind soon. He can't elude us forever. Ideally not. Okay, bye everybody. Violence and fear. This is not the future she envisioned for her nation. You give so much of yourselves to aid those in need. I must endeavor to find my own small way to help. What's going on over there? I don't like what's going on over there. Tuliolal will gladly welcome every last Alexandrian with open arms. But what of the nation the late queen was so desperate to preserve? What of that bright haven of peace and laughter? Wuklemat. I won't stand here and let her legacy be sullied any further. I will protect Alexandria. That was the promise I made her at the last. But she betrayed you, did she not? Why do you feel this obligation? saw myself in her, I suppose. We both felt the people's joy as our own, yet alone we lacked the strength to protect them. There's so much that I love in this world. Too much for me to take in my arms and keep safe. And that made me afraid. I needed someone who shared that love from fear, so together we could do what we couldn't by ourselves. Or maybe it's simpler than that. Maybe I just wish that we could have been friends. So when she turned to me in our final hour, desperate to safeguard Alexandria's future, I swore that I would see it done. In the end, I think you both found the friend you needed. I would be yours as well, Sphene. Whenever you fall or struggle to rise, I'll come running to the rescue, and you do the same for me. That's how we'll protect the things we love. That's how we will protect Alexandria. You're right. You're right. Don't forget about me! How could we? We'd not be where we are without you. Right, we got a bit sidetracked there. We should probably be on our way. Do we patrol or see if Shale needs a hand? There you all are. Kaluja. Ah, splendid. We were afraid we'd miss you. Alice and the others said you were here. Good news, Daenerys. We finally found a chink in Calix's armor. We discovered laboratories on Everkeep's 10th level that once housed a preservation initiative. Containment Complex 1029, it's called, and it's been falsely registered as a distribution center. In reality, it hasn't recorded any traffic in decades. We don't think this is where Calix is hiding as such, but it may well contain clues that will point us in the right direction. I'm sorry it took so long for us just to get this far. If you're interested, what do you say we go and check it out together? Let's do it. Thank you for all your hard work. This is a huge step forward. And up. We need to take the lift to get to the complex. I've cleared this expedition with the relevant authorities and have one of our people waiting to operate said lift. Let's not keep her waiting. So the one in the back of the government building again. Oh, hello. Where'd you come from? Yep, it's back behind that wall again. Yep, it's right there again. The lift. The other lift. Ready to head on up. Next stop, the 10th level. Sure, let's go. I thought this was dungeon time and I was wrong.
So this is one of Preservation's laboratories.
It's so dark I can barely see.
Ma'am. You are a cat.
Just a moment. If I can reroute the power to the circuit.
working.
Smell how stale the air is. This room hasn't been in use for many years.
It was thanks to Kryl and Galulja that we managed to locate this place.
You may remember that my earring contained the control code for the gate to the Golden City. As it was Preservation that constructed the portal, we reasoned that the code to operate it might include a signature of some sort, unique to their organization.
So I took a closer look, and a line-by-line examination yielded a string of symbols identifying the code's author. We then began accessing the nodes for every door in Everkeep, seeking out control codes which contained those same symbols. After a grueling search, we finally discovered our prize behind door number 1860.
Oh, Jesus.
The entrance to the facility in which we now stand. I'd probably still be at it if Galulja hadn't been around to assist me.
I took breaks, but Shale never stopped working. Not even once.
You precious little bean. Sounds like you need one of Janelt's energy tonics. You're a treasure, Shale.
I can contribute precious little else, I'm afraid, but I appreciate your kind words. In any case, this next part will require your helping hands.
We need to spread out and search for something that may lead us to Calyx. We're more than happy to help, of course. But I wonder, won't he realize we've found this place?
Of course.
It's highly likely, and personally I hope he does.
You all know our main objective. We're here to pick up Calyx's trail. And I've learned of a certain device that should be able to help us do just that. I'll explain how as we proceed, but according to the information I was able to dredge up, the device in question should have been installed in the director's office. Which is over here. Oh, never mind. Now for where... oh my god. Now as for where that might be... Yes, this map matches my data. This room we're in is the Researchers' Commons, located in the western side of the complex. The Director's office is to the northeast of here. This room we're... oh wait. So we should cut across the circular chamber in the middle, yes? Yes, we should, but... unfortunately for us, the interior door is locked. We'll need a security key with the appropriate clearance to open it. Judging by the mechanism, it'll probably be a card of some kind. Can't you know, work some electrope magic? I'll try my best, but this type of lock is well before my time. It may take a while to crack it. And in case I can't, you might want to look around to see if anyone left a security card behind. Considering the state of this place, it does seem like they abandoned it in some haste. I shouldn't be surprised if we found one. Very well, let's get to searching, shall we? Scavenger hunt! I expect we'll have the most luck looking where the researchers kept their personal belongings. You begin search in Containment Complex 1029. Close cooperation will be necessary to overcome the obstacles barring your path forward. Helpful hints will appear in different color. Pay attention to the information provided by your comrades should you find yourself unable to proceed. Pop open desk drawers, maybe? This appears to be the only desk with drawers with the drawers already open. You can tell at a glance that the desk's former owner has left some belongings behind. Yup. You discover a card-shaped object. The electrode surface is marked with a bold level 1. Oh, could this be what we're looking for? Try it on the door and see if it opens. Sure, let's try it. Scanning device. The card-shaped object you hold looks to be of similar size to the scanner panel. Okay. You hold the shaped object up to the scanner. And... first try. It's open. You did it, Daenerys. And a good thing, too. I was getting nowhere with that outdated circuit. I am curious, though. Why would they abandon a facility like this? It was run by a director, Demetrius, oh my god. Or so that terminal there told me. Perhaps there are more answers to be had once we venture further inside. Let's continue onwards. The door to the director's office is across the central hub. Let me look at this data terminal real quick. Terminal screen displays what appears to be the index page of an employee manual. Personnel protocols? For security reasons, Containment Complex 1029 has been registered as a materials distribution center. Keep in mind and conduct yourself accordingly, both inside and outside the facility. Each employee must perform their tasks within the designated workrooms, the researchers' commons, the proto lab, and the Deutero lab. Entrance into another workroom without an official clearance is strictly prohibited. Carry your security card at all times. Your clearance level dictates the areas to which you have access. Equip your regulator at all times. Due to the highly confidential nature of the research materials and other data managed within this complex, preservation retains the ownership of and the rights to modify the memories of all registered personnel. Damn. Access denied. Please log in with your personal account to view. Complex Director, Demetrius, Protolab Chief, Eosfer, Deuterolab Chief, Redacted. Anything else to find in here? Nope. I can't click that yet. Don't think it's gonna work this time. You hold the level 1 security card up, but the scanner beeps in disapproval. No good? Maybe we should need a different card. Yes, the scanner is demanding a level 3 security clearance to open the lock. As much as the delay chafes me, it will just have to comb through the nearby rooms and hope we stumble upon the card we need. Let's start our search in the proto lab. That door is already open, at least. We will find a way through together, Shale. I'm sure of it. This is the proto lab, right? That must be the Deutero lab. Hello, proto lab. Please excuse my impatience. The means to track down Calyx are close, and I'm itching to get my hands on them. This machine feeds into a soul cell. I'm reminded by my imprisonment in the Empire. Surely this device wasn't made to hold people. The way this room is set up. The canister inserted into that large device looks to be a soul cell. Could this be where they conducted their experiments to create Endless? Probably. But we could probably spend days investigating this complex. Finding a way into the director's office must take precedence. Speaking of which, Kaluljan mentioned a locker over in the corner that couldn't open. Perhaps you could take a look? But first, book Lamat. These notes seem to be about the research they did in here. Let's take a look. Experiment 148. Submitting submitting inference candidate 201930 to be considered for efficiency procedure review. 201930. Oh, god damn it. More numbers. Experiment 158. Maximum value of 11,509 recorded. Comparative study to be included in the report. Alright then. Oh, and one more. Experiment 163. New proposal produced a result of 9834. Decreased value verified. Well, I have no idea what any of that means. Maybe it'll make sense later on? Maybe. Sure ain't making sense right now. Wait, let me see this data tablet. Appears to be a researcher's personal data tablet. We'll look through the entries in a second. Kaluja. I dug through this data tablet and found a journal. I'll read it to you. The results of experiment 158 show a marked improvement in ether extraction rates. At last, we have achieved a target value set by Master Calyx. Though I will become an endless as per our ascendancy protocols, I will preserve this historic number along with my few remaining worldly effects. Preserve the number? Now we look at the data tablet. Today I began my employment at Preservation. The organization was unfamiliar to me, but when the recruitment letter arrived, I had a gut feeling that this work would be far more fulfilling than any orthodox medical practice. My instincts were correct. Master Calyx's philosophy is a refined ideal of notions I've only ever vaguely entertained, that mankind must evolve beyond the shackles of its flesh and blood existence. I had a meeting with Director Demetrius today. I've heard others praise his genius intellect, yet he seems but a guttering candle in comparison to Master Calyx's blinding brilliance. Journal entry 9. This morning I was permitted to access the top floor and observe the workings of living memory. As predicted, the shortage of ether required to sustain the Endless is reaching critical levels, yet Queen's Fiend insists on continuing her ineffectual flailing. Entry 14. Our Malala colleagues, including the Protolab chief, have been behaving in a decidedly suspicious manner of late. Should I report my concerns to the director? Entry 18. From tomorrow, I've been assigned to assist with the research project in the Deutera lab. We are scheduled to conduct a major experiment, the details of which I have been kept ignorant. It would seem prudent to back up my memory data. Is this the same guy? Same journal entry? Yeah, it sounds like it. Locker door is shut tight, but the number pad suggests that inputting the correct combination will open it. You've gleaned some numerical data during your investigation. Attempt to enter the combination? Yep. Select the number keys on the pad to input a combination. Enter up to 5 digits, then press the confirm key. Let's try 158 first. You've entered 158 on the number pad. Could this be the right combination? Nope. Combination you received you're entered is incorrect. Perhaps speaking with your comrades might yield some useful numerical hints. Okay, fine. Let's go back to Uklama and see what those entries saw. 148, 158, 11509 recorded. first one had 6 numbers, though. Yeah, okay, so that's definitely not it. 158 is probably correct, which is 11509. And we'll try that one later. Let's try 11509. There it is. Hello, keycard. The locker pops open. Inside, you discover a level 2 security card. It couldn't be that easy, now could it? Daenerys, you got the locker open. And you found another security card. Oh, but does that say level 2? We need a level 3, didn't we? Yes, but it still should open more doors for us to explore. You did well, Daenerys. These preservation members led such surprisingly normal lives. Leaving notes, losing their cards. I guess I'd imagine they'd be more... what's the word? Bloodless? Mechanical? My parents were once part of preservation, if you recall. It would seem the researchers who agreed with Calix and his philosophy underwent the conversion to endless entities. But I assume those who could not, or would not, eventually left the organization altogether. Oh, I almost forgot. The researchers kept journals in their data tablets. The one I read doesn't explain much, but something big happened in the complex, and afterwards it was decided that everyone would become endless. The writer was really happy about this. You can tell how much they admired Calix and his work. Entries ended after that, but maybe you can read more in the other tablet there. Right, let's move this investigation to another room. Well, we have the Deterra lab and the maintenance facilities left to search. Both are accessed via the southeast corridor. So it's back to the hub and to the locked door across the way, which will hopefully yield before our new security card. I'll take the old one if you'd like. I doubt we have any more use for it. You can have it. Scanning device awaits silently for a security card with the appropriate level of clearance. Let's try 2. Open sesame. Yes, it opened. So, where should we go first? The Deterra lab or facilities? Let's start with the lab. Ah, I see. The Deterra lab was where looks like the relic was made. That's what it looks like, at least. Shale, there doesn't seem to be any power here. No, not at all. It's possible the energy supply for this room is on a separate conduit, which means there should be a contingency for opening the door. Look here, there's a sign above the card scanner. In case of emergency, backup power can be rerouted from facilities. So we go to facilities first. The facilities room is down the other branch of this corridor. Let's see about getting the power restored to the Deterra lab, shall we? Keep trying to press and hold circle to get me to sprint when that's not how to sprint. Ugh, sugar. Engaging power supply. No good. It's returning an error. There must be a preliminary procedure. According to this error code reference, if the power supply has been interrupted for an extended period of time, then we need to reconfigure both the emergency generator and the circuit control panels. Shale? That's the emergency generator over there, isn't it? Ah, yes. The RAM cards. Yes, and by the looks of it, it's the same model as the one used in Heritage Found. But how does it send power to the other lab? Ah, I see. The energy cable attached to the base of this terminal leads down the hall, directly to the Terra lab, which means we need a way to connect the generator to that cable. What about these patterns on the floor? Could this be a circuit we need, or could this be the circuit we need to reconfigure? I believe you have the right of it. Using the control panel set into each of the tiles, we create an unbroken path to for the power to follow. What I wouldn't give for an instruction manual. Indeed. If you could look around for any written procedures, I'll keep digging through the terminal's directory. Might I also ask someone to operate the generator? I can do it. I've used that type of machine before. Then would you be willing to try and reconfigure the circuit path, Xenaris? The rest of us can help by supplying Xenaris with whatever information might be found on the circuitry configuration. Get to work, everyone. Okay, what do I... There's that. And it goes to that. You must arrange the 4 tile patterns in the correct positions, access the control panels, and configure the circuitry. Oh, okay. So, let me see. I mean, that technically doesn't work. To be the square. Yep. Okay. And circle. Maybe. Was there 5 of those? 1, 2, 3. No, there's 4. Don't remember what the triangle looked like. Yeah. So the only one left is the diamond. Easy peasy. You've connected all the circuits. Inform your comrades of the successful reconfiguration. Hey. It worked. We did it, Xenaris. The Terra lab should now be fully powered. Well done, everyone. If I may, Shale, could we access a certain data log before moving on? I was checking the storage shelves, and one of the labels caught my eye. Preservation. The early days is the title. Of course. It'll only take a moment to bring up the contents. Let's see what we find. Ah, it looks to be a text-based account. I'll read it out. Preservation, an Alexandrian Institute for Technological Development, was founded by Calix, an 11-year-old child prodigy. Approval for establishing the organization came during Alexandria's involvement in the Storm Surge, with Calix's designs for new defensive solutions funded in large part by the Treasury. As the conflict grew in intensity and casualties mounted, Calix funneled Preservation's resources towards the perfection of memory storage. Research into this field continued even after the Storm Surge came to an end, with Calix eventually electing to preserve his own memories in a virtual domain. So this account is from before he embraced his endless existence, hundreds of years ago. I met him only once before the storm surge began. I was attending my father, who was then the reigning king of Alexandria. Calix could not have been more than 10 years of age, and required constant treatment for his debilitating illness. Yet he published theories so highly regarded that even the royal family was aware of his achievements. Life should not be lost to the injustice of death. Even now I can hear the single-minded will behind his words. So it was that when war came to our kingdom, my father was quick to commit his unwavering support to the somber youth and his proposals for preservation. Several years later, the ensuing violence brought the death of both my parents. Overwhelmed as I was by my sudden succession to the throne, I suspected they spared me the reports on endless research and other less urgent matters. So you had no way of knowing what kind of person Calix was changing into. Did he change? I wonder. Perhaps he has ever been the type to value ideals over compassion, and I failed to see it at the time. Or perhaps he did change. Reach, what are you doing? Or perhaps he did change, but it's still driven by those same deeply held beliefs. That mortality is cruel and unjust, and his role is to deliver mankind from this fate. Whatever the case might be, we cannot allow him to shape our future. Let's press on, shall we? If I've done my job correctly, the door to the doTERRA labs should be accessible now. I'll give everything a once-over just to be sure. One of my twists is trying to come undone. And I can't. I gotta fix it. I have to. If I can find it. Wherever it went. Is this it? It can't be it, is it? Oh, it might be it. I think this was it. It's twisty twisty. I may have to end a little bit early tonight, even though I started at 8, 8:30, 8:45, somewhere in there, because I still have work tomorrow, and I gotta go to bed. So I may continue this on tomorrow instead of doing Final Fantasy VII. That might be what I end up doing, but we'll see. Probably what I'm gonna do though. I just want to get to a stopping point here. Let me see if there's anything to find. No. Okay. Easy peasy. Lemon the squeezy. Energy current seems stable enough. Still, you should let me handle this one. The security card, if you please. Oh, and a quick prayer that a shortened wire doesn't burn me from the inside out. Okay, Shale. Shouldn't I be the one to do this? Just in case. Right. I'll get this door open. Yay. Shale didn't die. Smooth as silk. Let's head inside and see what awaits. Oh, it's cutscene time again. Gods above, isn't that? What? Isn't that what? Ah. Ah. Another relic. Not relic, but what is it called? Key. The key to interdimensional fusion. That looks to be a schematic on the monitor. And they've used it to make another key? But isn't it missing the shard inside like the one Daenerys has? Ah, we may have been laboring under a misconception. The key was originally a Malala relic. Once this treasure came into its possession, Preservation began working to harness the power to cross dimensions. Aside from the crystal, we can see that that all the vessel's components were constructed here. So what might that tell us? The crystal itself is the key? Probably. It was just the device used to control it. That would be the logical conclusion, yes. It is as my parents explained. I don't remember what they said back then. The key remains shrouded in mystery. Preservation augmented it with electrope, but never grasped the technology's underlying principles. Oh. To this day, not a single person understands the mechanics of interdimensional fusion. Not who imbued the key with this power, not when they did so, nor why. Not who imbued the key with this power, not when they did so, or why. Now it makes sense. Calyx can track the key because its vessel was made by Preservation. I believe there is much we may learn in this room. On our next visit, I will have to enlist Y'shtola's assistance for a thorough investigation. I too am curious about a great many things, but pinning down Calyx's whereabouts is our priority. Hopefully there's a security card that grants access to the director's office. The research conducted in this lab appears to have been highly confidential in nature. Some of the personnel must have belonged to the organization's upper echelons, and that means higher security clearance. We should spread out and look for any cards that they left behind. Remember, anything less than a level 3 is no good to us. Storage crate? This lone storage crate is filled with document binders and other miscellaneous objects, none of which are security cards. Figured not. They're just making multiple harnesses for this key. Love the 3D printers. Why are they making so many vessels? Did the other ones not work properly? Great questions. I'll search through these drawers. One of us is bound to find something, I'm sure of it. Maybe someone left a card on the shelf somewhere. I keep holding out hope that I'll find some evidence of my parents here, despite knowing there is none. Wheeled shelving unit cabinet drawer. Hello. You find a security card in the cabinet drawer. Oh, did you find a security card? Well, that was a stroke of luck. Let's have Shell examine it to be sure. Hello. Well, if it isn't exactly what we needed. Nice work, Daenerys. I do my best. I try. Oh, a level 3. That should get us into the director's office. So what is it you were hoping to find in here again, Shale? You were saying that a certain device was going to help us. Right. I haven't properly examined myself, have I? Or explained myself, have I? I'm looking for a data relay. A what? After we discovered this ostensibly abandoned complex, I performed a cursory investigation which detected a connection to an outside network. When I traced the data's routing, I confirmed traffic from a web of Everkeep's security cameras. Considering the way Calyx is always one step ahead of us, we must assume he's quietly seized control over the city's surveillance system and has been using it to monitor our activities. to monitor what you, as the key holder, are planning. Great, I'm being watched. But since Calyx is the ultimate recipient of those transmissions, the flow of data is like a river that we can follow back to him. Which is why I need the data relay. If I can analyze the device and see where it's routing all this surveillance traffic, then you can pinpoint Calyx's position. That said, he has done nothing to impede our progress, which makes me think I might be entirely on the wrong track. Maybe the reason he isn't stopping us is because he can't. Back in the old castle, Calyx said he was measuring Xanaris' strength. What can he possibly dream up that's stronger than her? Honestly, what? Oh, speaking of cameras, there was another thing I meant to mention. I found evidence that someone deliberately disabled the surveillance feed in this room. The most recent recording was also crudely deleted. I was able to restore the data, though, if you'd like to see it. I'll start the show, then. Ugh. I'm not thrilled to find out what we find.
Are you really planning to leave?
Yes. The idea of eternal life. It's begun to frighten me.
I struggle to renounce our conventional wisdom. Death is the means by which life prunes its branches, leaving the trunk to grow strong and tall. We die so that our species may flourish. What would become of mankind were we to halt that process? If unending stagnation is the fruit of our labor, then perhaps we strive for the wrong thing.
That hair, bro.
Your argument is a rejection of Master Calyx's vision.
I suppose it is. Perhaps such dread would not plague me, were I capable of sharing his perspective on the subject.
But I cannot. He and I are too different, in too many ways. I lack his extraordinary genius. I have no illness threatening to cut my life short, no singularity of will to cut away all distractions and focus solely upon research.
I have nothing but respect for his determination. The way he overcame his prognosis and seized the means to transcend death itself. But I'm not convinced that this obsession with living is the right path. That's why I've decided to leave preservation and put all my effort towards building a legacy for the next generation to come. Surely you...
Oh. Rude.
Protocol, you understand. There can be no exceptions.
Very rude. I thought he was going to shoot the camera. That was his way of crudely deleting the evidence. But no, he actually went to a computer. Damn. She only wanted to leave, and he executed her. I checked the images against the personnel data, and the man who pulled the trigger was Director Demetrius himself. Everything I could find on him pointed to a deep infatuation with Master Calyx. The cameras in this room have been out of operation ever since that incident. Given that the recording was erased, I can only assume he was trying to conceal his grisly deed from the other researchers. I'm not surprised, given how my parents described their defection from the Institute. They spoke of rushing me through a portal, even as Preservation's agents closed in on them. I dared not ask what became of them after that, but if it turns out they were captured by their pursuers... They did not regret their actions. Because I don't know if they escaped or not. Right, the echo. Knowing you saw them as they were. Oops, sorry. Knowing you saw them as they were, your words give me great comfort. Oh, Cryle. Worry not, Sveen. Thanks to the Haven of Living Memory, I was at least able to meet my parents and learn what they stood for. It is enough for me to carry on. Even now, we don't know how the conflict unfolded between your parents and Preservation. But what we do know is that your mother and father cleverly expunged every last trace of their movements. They made sure no one could cross into the source or threaten their child's safety. Right, let's press on, shall we? His tale behind the key deserves a fitting conclusion. To the director's office. There's so many moving parts here. Especially that. That's a big moving part. Hello, director's office. Okay, wait silently with the security card with the appropriate level of clearance. Level 3. You hold the level 3 security card up to the scanner. There we go. Let's head inside. Now to find that data relay. And don't be shy, everyone. Speak up if anything odd catches your eye. Daenerys, come with me. I might have need of that security card. Oh god. This is a report on reducing people to ether and how much energy can be harnessed per individual. Something odd. Something odd. Huh. Oh my god. This director, Demetrius, was very particular about how he decorated his office. We've got incense and vases and some kind of gem display? Is that a tree in the trash can? Oh, nope, it's just... It was a growing tree. More soul cells. Okay, Shale, what you got? Damn, this terminal isn't connected to any outside networks, so it can't be the data relay I'm looking for. This office is also smaller than the map suggested. I'm positive we're in the right room. What am I missing? Secret tunnel. Sorry, Daenerys. Could I ask you and the others to search the office for any clues to this infuriating puzzle? Beverage station, side table, soul cell, storage case, shelves. Start with the shelves. You find a crumpled note wedged between the file binders. Secure room lift access. Requires passwords to be input simultaneously at the terminals in the protolab. Requires passwords to be put simultaneously at terminals in the protolab, Terra lab, and the director's office. Perhaps this discovery would be of interest to Shale. Having lain dormant for years, a now active coffee maker has already entered a self-cleaning cycle. It appears to have no other purpose beyond brewing coffee, though it remains to be seen when it will be able to do so once more. I mean, I could take it home with me. Let me take it home. Let me take the coffee maker home. The collection of soul cells may have once belonged to the director. They appear to be empty. And lastly, the cluttered side table. Amongst other personal effects, you find what is presumably the director's data tablet. A closed locker stands next to the table. Well, let's examine the data tablet first. You pick up the data tablet and begin skimming through the contents and daily reports. Nothing of note. The mystery of the key's activation condition remains unsolved. The key triggered an explosion today. Temporary interdimensional portal verified. Damn. Continue attempts to stabilize the core's energy reactions. 13 researchers sustained fatal injuries in the explosion. Memory faculties of 4 personnel sufficiently intact for endless conversion. Remaining 9 designated for ether reclamation processing. Damn. Nothing of note. Rejected resignations of 2 Malala researchers. Oh, could that have been her parents? Maybe. Major incident full details in full. Oh my god, major incident. Details in full report. Those 2 inept Malala broke with preservation and absconded with the key. Though the fugitives have since been caught and eliminated, we were too late to recover the relic. Aww. The only reason we retained our flesh was to serve Master Calyx as physical instruments to conduct his experiments. Deprived of the object of our research, the existence serves no further purpose. I dare not imagine the depths of his disappointment in me. The complex is to be shut down. All personnel will have their bodies reduced to ether, which will be allocated for further experimentation. Memory data will be archived. Any endless conversions will be subject to Master Calyx's discretion. If he does not deem us fit, then we are not deserving of eternal life. Jesus. All personnel have undergone processing. Once the shutdown protocols have been completed, I will proceed with my own corporeal dissolution. As long as the key remains in the physical world, we must keep this complex in pristine condition. Whether it be needed for experiments or otherwise, it must be ready to support the future operations in whatever capacity Master Calyx requires. To that end, facility equipment will be maintained in stasis mode. Furthermore, a critical component to secure room access will be stored separately to defend against unauthorized entry. Critical component for security room access. Okay. Well, time to look at that locker. The door to the locker swings open easily. Ugh. That's creepy. Hate that. Contains nothing of note. You quietly shut the locker door. That's creepy as shit. I hated that. I hated every little bit of that. Have you found something? A crumpled note and a creepy locker. Thank you. A misplaced note, was it? Could have lived without seeing that. With instructions for accessing a secure room, no less. Seems we need to enter a password on 3 different terminals at the same time. There was no such room marked on the map, was there? No, a precautionary measure, no doubt. And if passwords are involved, I expect the access lift itself is concealed too. Concealed? By Electrope, you mean? Ah, could it be that wall? I thought it seemed odd when I walked past. Why didn't you say anything, Kryle? Remember what Kakiwa used to say, Shale? Never trust an Electrope surface. You can pass right through Electrope. Electrope isn't always what it appears to be. Oh, of course. Electrope is how you alter the look of all of Solution 9's floors and walls, isn't it? In which case, it shouldn't be too hard to disable. Ta-da! Another door. I've managed to deactivate the projection, but the lock is another story. Didn't that note lay out the password protocol? I say we go ahead and try it. I agree. 2 people should prepare the lab terminals for input while the rest of us go look for passwords here in the office. I'll take the proto lab, and then I'll take the Deutero lab. Actually, it might be better if you stayed, Sphene. Your knowledge of Alexandria and its people could be needed here. Yes, you're right. If the passwords are hiding behind clues, that may be something I can help with. I can help too. I've lived my whole life in Alexandria, after all. I will take the Deutero lab duty, then. We can keep in touch via communicator to match our timing. Daenerys, you shall have the honor of entering the office password. Once we've determined what we need to input, take your place at this terminal. I'll stand by to guide Wook Lamont and Kryle through the process. You know, there was that display plate over there, the one with the gems. I thought since it was made of Electrope, it might have some other purpose. But I couldn't find any switches or buttons to make it do anything. Maybe you could figure it out? Another puzzle! It just needs another gem in it. That's it. Two jewels are embedded in this Electrope plate. You identify the blue gem as sapphire and the red gem as garnet. There also appears to be an empty slot for another jewel to fill. Nope, not the director's terminal. Nope. We're good. Watch me open the locker and there be a gem there that I never noticed to begin with. I don't need to be out here. I don't want to go back in there. I kept searching the drawers with the books and found a cube puzzle made of Electrope. It's probably just a toy, but maybe? Solve the puzzle, Gluja. You smart little baby, you. Let's see. If I move this bit, then connect this circuit to that one. There. Huh? There was something inside. Oh, it's a pretty green stone. I think it might be Alexandrite. They say these gems were so treasured in the past that they named the kingdom after them. Here, you should hold on to this one just in case. Thanks, buddy. Yep. Let's pop that bad boy in. Ta-da! The gemstone fits snugly into place. Almost immediately afterwards, the glowing lines of a diagram appear on the display, accompanied by a short phrase. It's the floor plan. As you continue studying the display, you realize that these shapes correspond to the rooms of the complex in which you now stand. This may be related to the password you were looking for. So the sapphire... The slot contains a sapphire. Sapphire, its place is... oh god. Its place in the floor plan corresponds to the proto-lab. And the Alexandrite is the director's office. Yep. And the garnet is the Deutera lab. The glowing words appear to be handwritten. Yes, I knew that jewel would come in handy. Let me see. Heed the stones. This must be about the special meanings Alexandrians have for gems. It's an old belief, I think. Where each type of gem means something different. Where each type of gem means something different. I bet if you asked Fian, she could tell you more about it. After all, even her name comes from a gemstone. Which gemstone? Oh, is there something down there? Oh, no, just cancel. Yes, if you have questions, you need only ask. Well, I was taught that Alexandrite represents the concept of protection. It is, incidentally, also the origin of Alexandria's name. Oh, are you thinking it has something to do with the password? A sapphire and garnet as well, you say? Yes, they all have meanings. Alexandrite, as I said, is protection. Sapphire represents honesty, and garnet symbolizes devotion. We should try these words at the terminals and see if they're accepted. I certainly hope we're right. Wait, so... Wait, which one is which? Sapphire is honesty, garnet is devotion. Okay, that's what I thought. So garnet is for the Deutera lab. And that's devotion. Sapphire is honesty, and that's the proto lab. And Alexandrite is the director's office, and that is protection. Gathered enough information to attempt entering the passwords. We're all set to go here. Wuklamot and Kryl are just waiting on their passwords. Let's start with Wuklamot in the Proto-Lab. What word should she enter? You should enter... Wait, where is she? Proto-Lab? Honesty. And the password for Kryl in the Deutera Lab? That will be devotion. And lastly, what will you input for the director's office? That will be protection. Right, we have all three passwords ready. Now to enter them into the system at the same time. Ta-da! Little step stool. Yes! Oh, I'm so glad that worked. That secure room is the only place we've yet to search. If the data relay is anywhere, it has to be there. We'll venture in as soon as Wuklamot and Kryl rejoin us. Gang's all here. What we got? Alright, everyone. Time to board the lift and see what awaits us. Let's go. It's a big ol' screen. Was Calyx here previously?
This terminal doesn't look special to me, but this is definitely what we're after?
It is. But whether or not it will suffice for our purposes is another question.
Hello.
The Endless are created using the memories of the deceased. But as memories are, in essence, collections of data, the resultant entities have no physical form. These data entities, as we might call them, have only two methods for interacting with the material world. One of these we saw in Living Memory, where the Endless are granted temporary bodies through the use of corporeal ether. They become much like solid ghosts that one can see and touch. The other method, which Kafkiwa employed, is the remote operation of a machine. But where do you suppose the Endless are to be found when not inhabiting a physical body?
The cloud, maybe. Oh, or the
Endless
Mesa
are
terminal.
memories, and if memories are data, then
A terminal. In a world formed of data inside Electrope somewhere.
Yes, we suspect they reside in a virtual domain, one contained entirely within an electrope-based machine. We've seen such a realm before, after all.
Oh, you mean like the Alexandria made from the Endless Fiend's memories? It all seems so real.
so this virtual domain, it would also be housed within the Meso terminal.
But how? I thought we shut down all the terminals in Living Memory.
You did. And Kafkiwa's program performed just as she intended.
Huh?
The Meso terminal itself was deactivated, as evidenced by the failure of the device which was keeping Spheen's body in stasis. Be that as it may, we face a master of electrope engineering. That he managed to partition and protect a sector harboring his own memories is well within the bounds of possibility.
Oh.
Let us say that the Meso terminal does indeed contain a second domain, and that Calyx himself resides there. This city, on the other hand, exists here in the source. That being the case, I thought perhaps we could prevent his remote interference by closing the gate to the Golden City, and thus severing the connection between worlds.
Except I tried to close it once already when I visited Living Memory. The process required administrative authorization, a restriction I assumed at the time had been imposed by the Queen.
Oh.
But now you think Calyx might be responsible.
Just as I suspected. Even now, security transmissions from throughout the Keep are being tapped by the core system and routed elsewhere. Almost every single one has you as its focus. He's keeping track of the keyholder's movements.
Creepy. I'm being watched.
Time's up, and what a waste of time it's been.
Hey, Calyx. You were wondering where you were, buddy.
Hoping to find me by tracing security data? That will not be necessary. Through a not inconsiderable effort, I've taken your measure and prepared a force sufficient to subdue you.
Have you? Have you?
Come. I invite you to the upper reaches of the Meso terminal. The storage device which holds my memories is there.
Oh, you're confident.
Break the memory bank and victory is yours. I, in turn, will seek to wrest the key from you with any and every means at my disposal.
And if we refuse this invitation?
I will wait and continue to convert Alexandrians into Endless. consider the urgency of the situation and make the wiser choice.
Answer me one question, Calyx. The Endless Fiend. When she was queen, you had her face an impossible task, then manipulated her into using the key when she was at her most desperate. If you can do all that, then why not whisk it away when her plans went to ruin? Why let it fall into our hands?
You pour salt in the wound. That disaster was a miscalculation on my part.
Well, he does that.
As her end drew near, Sphene and her restructured memories had become one with the terminal's control systems. In that singular place, in that singular moment, she wielded an authority greater than mine. Thus she was able to shield you, the neighboring sovereign to whom she entrusted her nation's future, and the hero to whom she entrusted that priceless key. I am unsure to what degree she perceived my presence, but she knew that someone was watching. Does that satisfy your curiosity?
Now I need to hear more about how you failed.
It does. And I'm satisfied that you will take nothing more from this nation. Not one more life, not one more future, not one single smile from another child's face. You hear me?
Angie.
Sorry for losing my temper, but there's only one way we can deal with people like Calyx.
Kill him.
Whatever grand future he envisions, someone will be made to pay the price. And I won't let that happen.
He's wrong if he thinks he's taken our measure. I keep forgetting that I can screenshot stuff.
If I may, I realize it is not my place to say this. Even so, I must thank you both. On behalf of my other self, allow me to say how grateful I am to have you as our champions.
And back out the door. Phew. Well, that was an adventure. It may not have been by the method Shale was hoping for, but at least now we know where to find Calyx and what we need to do next. Indeed, while I remain curious about Preservation's research into the key, that is an investigation for another day. Then let's head straight to the back room. We should get everyone on the same page before we make our move. Okay, let's finish this one. Actually, Arenville, where have you been? The situation isn't the best out there, but at least you've come back to us safe and sound. Oop, at you. Shale has been out of sorts ever since we got back. I don't think she liked what Calyx said. But don't worry, I'll do my best to cheer her up. stop everybody. It was my other self who entrusted you with the key. Though she could not change who she was, the consequences of her final choice linger, empowering us to shape our own future. Agro, you're so tiny. I've passed on the short version of events to our comrades so that we can all prepare for the challenge ahead. It's time to put an end to this. Calyx won't stop until we stop him. Okay, Cheryl, what you got? Damn that bastard Calyx. He waited until I was this close before snatching away my moment of triumph. In that infuriating, condescending way he spoke to us. We'll see whose time is up, you smug little weasel. Anyway, I know things didn't go to plan, but we learned a great deal about preservation. That knowledge could come in handy in the days to come. Though I may not be able to contribute much to a direct confrontation, I mean to see this through with you all, providing whatever support I can. Okay, I feel like this is a good spot to stop because it's 11:30. And like I said twice already, I've got work in the morning. So, I'm probably going to continue tomorrow. And hopefully at least get through MSQ and maybe do not Alexandria raids. Maybe do Juno raids. We'll see how that goes. We'll see. But yeah, instead of playing Final Fantasy VII tomorrow, I'm gonna do Final Fantasy XIV. And hopefully get through more of this. So that will be hopefully at 7:30 tomorrow, because I shouldn't have to do anything after work. I should just be able to go home. And I should hopefully be able to go home on time. I say that now, and then I'm pretty sure I jinxed myself. But we'll see what happens. If not, then I get to do another late stream. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for lurking. All the fun stuff. And I'm excited to finish this up. I have so many questions. I want to know what happens. I want to know how this concludes. Because I don't see the resolution yet. But I'm curious to see where it ends. So yeah. Boop. But yeah, I will talk to you guys tomorrow evening at 7:30-ish, maybe. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Have a good night. Bye!